Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 2025 Race ROTAX RMC US Trophy Final at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Warm-up has concluded for Junior ROTAX on a damp but drying track here in Spiceland, Indiana. Mike Smith, one of the names that you've seen on these two results screens, will book their tickets to the biggest party in world karting in one race time, the Bahrain running of the ROTAX Grand Finals. As you can see, the track is very, very different. The drivers have got warm-up and then just the main event. One race, winner takes all.
And the driver on your screen right there, the 244, Mate Kobakidze. Been one of, if not the driver to beat so far in the dry stuff that we had all the way through yesterday. And plenty of racing on the front. It's not like it's all handedly down, but I'll tell you right now, it's a different track today, different conditions.
Oh, yes.
It rained overnight. We've got a little bit of a window that looks like it's a little bit better. As you can see, damp, but not actually raining right now. I'd be curious to see if that continues or if anything more comes down, but not full dry conditions, but drying, as you say.
Yes, and a couple of little bits of housekeeping. Yesterday, during the heat races and pre-finals, the information that we had in front of us was that the finishing positions of the pre-finals set the grid for today's main event. There was actually a rules update, a bulletin that was issued that we didn't have sight of, unfortunately. So the grid positions for the main events were set based on a combination of the three heat results added together with the pre-final results. So the pre-final effectively acted as a super heat, not as a standalone pre-final, which is what we were led to believe. So apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed, we were calling out that where you finished is where you would start. That's not the case. So we'll get, once we get rolling here with all of our main events, here all of our finals, we will have the official starting list, etc. And it did change things, but for some of those drivers that had some rough pre-finals, it didn't hurt them nearly as bad. But if you had a good pre-final, it definitely helped your cause.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, Mate Kobakidze is one of those that is very lucky. I was very glad that they had that rules amendment issued a few days previously because, he went out of the pre-final in slightly controversial fashion, but is now going to be starting much further up the grid for the main event than he would have done previously. You're looking at Cell Tower Corner in the foreground. Micromax and Minimax are heading out onto the circuit. Once again, a little bit of housekeeping. So, the Micromax drivers are the ones with the single and double digits on their karts. They're running with a Minimax setup, but they're not running for a ticket to the Grand Finals. The Minimax, the actual, de facto Minimax karts, like Lennox Lockhart on your screen there, they've got the triple digit numbers, the number 100s. There are 2 tickets available for the Grand Finals in that race. So the first 2 drivers across the line. And I have to say that this is an international event, and UK's Arthur Farrow has been dominant so far. Won every race yesterday, but that's only for, but he didn't have it all his own way. Number 149, Hudson Howard, was another driver that was in contention, and these conditions will help a driver like Hudson, who drives obviously for the J. Howard driver development team based here at the circuit. That's going to be critical. Local knowledge is going to be very important, as is whoever can figure out the grip situation. And that sounds very obvious talking about wet weathers, but Mike, when I say grip situation, because yesterday, instead of laying rubber down on the racing line, the Mojo tyres seem to be picking the rubber up off the racing line. In the wet, you want to go where the rubber isn't. laid down.
Yeah, and typically that's going to be, as you see it, I think
That's
the one
of the Jeffreys.
Is just going to say, normally you're going to try to get offline. You're going to try to carry the outside of a corner, or like you said, just like there you can see is Howard takes the long way around, if you will, to try to make sure that he's not on that rubber, because the rubber, the water can bead on there. You're not going to have as much grip. You're going to slide across the surface. Whereas you get off of that rubber, off of the normal line, there's more aggregate. There's more sharp bits, if you will, in the asphalt as well that you can try to grab onto. There's a little bit of debris out there. And so all those things are going to help you. However, with the fact that the rubber is being pulled, the question now lies, how much is that an advantage taking the long way around? If you were watching Hudson just before, taking a normal line actually is not terrible.
No, exactly. Through Tech Barn Bend there, Hudson Howard, in this corner in particular, he's almost, not taking the dry line, but not taking the traditional wet weather line. It's going to be a real voyage of discovery. We mentioned yesterday, Mike, that this could be the most important session of the day, and it is proving to be very, very critical. At the moment, Lennox Lockhart is fastest. The Velocity Racing Sodi Kart driver here representing the Bahamas this weekend. And there's a lot of people back in the Bahamas watching and supporting Lennox in his bid to become the very first Bahamian driver to ever go to the Grand Finals. And how ironic would it be that a country that is known for its beautiful weather and get a driver to the Grand Finals on a day where the weather is, quite frankly, atrocious.
Well, and one of the things we were talking about yesterday in the that final pre-final, or the pre-final race, the final race of the day, was tire choice. Do you run the slicks or not? And one of the things that I'm looking at right here, if this track continues to dry, if we do not have the precipitation happening, and it just by cutting laps on this, we got warm-ups and the heats, by the time we get to seniors, do we have dry lines? Do we have, or even sooner, do we have a scenario where if you're on the line, you're going to want the best rubber possible? Racing, though, trying to make a pass, that's going to be a little bit tougher. One of the things as a viewer you can look at is in the joints of the pavement, those little lines, the black lines on there, you're going to see a little bit of a sheen, like a little bit of a weeper. There's going to be water right there. What we're not seeing is a bunch of spray. They're a little bit off of Lockhart's left rear, but not a lot of water going up in the air. There's not a ton of water on the ground, but there are areas where it's more slick than others.
And this is a driver's worst nightmare. The track is greasy. It's not properly wet, not properly dry. It's greasy. The other issue that the drivers have, you talk about track evolution from wet to dry, we don't have our Masters class today. The Masters division, they weren't racing for a ticket. There were 6 of them. Davis Barr sadly had to withdraw. And I think collectively among the 6 contenders, they thought, you know what, we've had a really nice day racing. We don't fancy burning up a set of wets. We've all got, businesses to go and jobs to do, etc., tomorrow. The risk of getting ourselves hurt for no reason, for no ticket. So they have decided collectively they're not going to race today, which means that after this session we're going to have a break. Then we'll have senior ROTAX warm-up. Then we'll have pre-race ceremonies. And then we simply have 3 races. Junior, mini and micro, this race, another break, and then the senior final. So there's not a lot of opportunity compared to most race days where you can, get rubber down on the circuit, dissipate the water. There is a breeze. The wind is the concerning factor. At the moment, the wind is at about 20 miles an hour. There are forecasts of heavy gusts of wind later this afternoon. It's why we've started the day a little bit early. It's why we ran the pre-final yesterday. Rain is one thing, but we've got over 100 drivers and their teams, all with tents and awnings. The organisers were quite determined. No, they did not want to have teams and people trying to take down very, very heavy, tense awnings. You can see the background of the shot there in 50 to 60 mile an hour winds, because that, you know, that would be dangerous.
Exactly, and as you talk about that track evolution and what we're going to be keeping an eye on, it's going to be, as you keep running on this track, you can see everybody's pretty much on the standard line, but then you look over to the left, and that's where you can kind of see the off color, that little bit of a sheen. That's going to be what we're going to be watching for, is when you are carrying the speed, as you see Howard going around the long way, trying to find that grip. This session being so important, because not only are you trying to find a good wet setup that the driver's comfortable with on this tire, which many people have not gotten a chance to run on in the wet, even if you have the experience, but you're hunting around the track to find out what works, what doesn't work, trying to figure out what works for your kart. And this is where we can see the largest disparity in the driver, or at least in the lap times, because they say wet is the great equalizer. And actually, my opinion, these conditions are my favorite to run in the wet, because I get the slick without getting wet. And so this is actually my favorite if I was going to go out there and run it, because you get the best of both worlds.
And also, like, looking at Lawrence Perryman, who is now second fastest. Okay, Hudson Howard, he's raced in this event before. He may have some experience of the wet Mojo tire. There are drivers here that are making their ROTAX debut this weekend. Drivers like Lennox Lockhart. This is the first time that he's ever driven a ROTAX. It's the first time he's ever used a Mojo tyre, slicks or wets. And even like Billy Musgrave in senior was telling us, you know, the most experienced name of all here, they take some getting used to.
Well, and take a look at the gap right now that we're looking at in the top 10. Almost a 1 second difference. That is not as far away as things were in the drive. Things were very, very close.
Yeah, very close.
But that is what this warm-up is all about. How do I find this as quick as possible, stay in front of it, and for the tuners, try to guess correctly in the setup and the tire moving forward.
Now, you know, there'll be two schools of thought here. Mike is joking. Hudson Howard, Lawrence Perryman, Micromax driver Jack Katowski back up at the front there. Connor Lipka, Ripped Pants Racing's Connor Lipka, Arthur Farrow, Jack Clem, 13th in another Micromax kart. Carlo Lott, Arthur Farrow only 5th. 0.6 of a second off the pace. The driver that won everything yesterday, those were his very first laps in the rain. The form book is going to be thrown on its head. Everybody who did well yesterday is going to be cursing the rain. But think of it like this, and I'm going to throw another spanner in the works.
Do you guys want to do a break after this?
If it doesn't rain anymore, will we see people gamble on slick tyres in the final? Will we see gamble? Because if you look now, imagine that. The skies are about as bright as it's possible to be today, but in an hour's time, in 45 minutes' time, what will that track look like? Will somebody gamble on slicks? Will we get a driver going to the grand finals because they start 30th and they're the only driver to go on slicks, and suddenly the track changes? It's going to be an absolute lottery. I do know it's going to be unmissable. We'll take a very short break and be back with senior ROTAX warm-up live here on Kart Chaser.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental kart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Florida kart racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLKC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Senior ROTAX practice on the circuit. That's not Max, Senior ROTAX. The Max Masters have decided they want a nice quiet Sunday afternoon watching the karting, not being in the karting. So this will be our third and final warm-up session. Mike, well, in the pre-final yesterday, we got a taste of what to expect from this race. There are 2 tickets available in this class, one for Senior ROTAX, the Grand Finals, one for DD2, which is ROTAX 2-speed, the ultimate ROTAX class. Now, everyone is on wet tyres, but you know something, Mike? That circuit is looking drier, and it may just be the colour of the tarmac. It's a very light coloured tarmac, but I got a feeling that if the conditions stay as they are, we're going to get gamblers. We are going to get gamblers There's the weepers that you mentioned.
Yeah, sorry about that, Henry. Yeah, exactly that. The what we're going to be looking for is the white. It's going to be more of a white look on the actual pavement, with it being so light colored as it is with that gray. The gray is that damp. The white is going to be drying, and then the silver, if you will, those weepers. I'll tell you right now, when we are getting ready to make that last-minute decision, don't be surprised, and I'm sure we'll be able to get down to Xander later in the pit to find out what exactly people do. But don't be surprised if people show up without tires on the go-kart.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wait until the last possible second to put those things on and make the decision or make the gamble of which tire to go with.
And here's something else. Now, you can see, obviously, on the start-finish straight, there are painted white lines. There are, grooves that the black-coloured, that's sealant. That's where the track has cracked over the years, and they put down sealant. Now, that in itself, the sealant material is slippery. It's got less porous grip in it than the actual tarmac on the circuit, the asphalt we got on the circuit. So that's going to be something else, because those are the black lines and the marks you can see where they put sealant over it. Obviously, that stays slicker. That's just, Nigel Mansell crashed out of the Monaco Formula 1 Grand Prix once whilst leading because he drove over a white line, a painted white line, which had less grip in it than, there's someone losing possibly chain guard off the side of the kart there. So another very, very tricky element of this track for the drivers to negotiate.
Yeah, it's again right where that sealer is. You can see that's also where the weeper is at the same time. Hence the cracks, etc., that hold on to that water. And you're also going to notice a lot of dodging of the curbs. To your point about the paint, the curbs a lot of times don't provide that grip because it's all painted over. They may try to make them all look nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty and nice,
but not so nice when it's all wet. And it's going to be a scenario where with the wet stuff, what your goal is to get the thing rotated. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that with the wet, the front doesn't work, so you end up seeing a lot more hands going into it. Try to get that inside tire to jack up, get the thing to rotate. And a lot of times you want to do that on the first part of the corner so you can unwind the wheel, not have to be on throttle and turn the wheel very much on the exit. So you see late apex, cut, get the thing to rotate, and then hopefully either find grip or get it straightened out on the exit.
Yep, looking at Timothy Pernod in kart number 351. A number of Canadian drivers here, without wanting to cast any dispersions over our friends in the Great White North. Would this wet weather maybe help, or would it be an advantage to the Canadians and the Europeans? Even though the drivers of the USA have got a lot more local knowledge, driving in the rain is something that happens with a little bit more regularity in Europe, the UK, and in Canada, shall we say.
My experience is that if you have rain experience that feels like it has been positive, right, that you understand what's happening, your ability to go to a new track, and it's all feel, right?
Yep.
If you go over the surface and the thing is very, very light in your hands, you're not getting any bite. If you start feeling that vibration, a little bit of a cut, you can feel the go-kart work through there. Mm-hmm. And once you have that feeling, you can remember that and apply it to the next place you go to. So as long as you've had a positive experience in the wet prior, you should be able to go to a new place. This warm-up, again, being one of the most important sessions, it's about hunting around and trying to see what works.
The other thing I like about when it's raining is that the drivers wear their clear visors more often than not. So you can actually get right up close and you can see the driver's eyes, see where they're looking, see how they're focusing. Now, Billy Musgrave, one of the most experienced drivers here, the All-American badass, he is driving on a Mojo wet tyre for the very first time here. He's driving a kart that is competing in the wet for the very first time. That factory kart 2.0. Do you know what? He's P4 at the moment. This is going to be a day full of emotion anyway. the last tickets to the grand finals that are available in North America. There's the South America Trophy, there's the Golden Trophy in Genk in Europe next weekend. But this is the last chance for drivers on the North American continent to win tickets to the grand final. So it's going to be highly emotional regardless. I would not like to, well, I would love to be around if a factory kart qualifies. You know, they won't use the factory kart in the grand finals because all the equipment is provided equally from ROTAX. But on its competition debut, if all the work that team have put in to create that chassis, and Cooper O'Clair is already a ticket holder. He won his ticket for DD2 in the US Trophy West in Phoenix back in February. But oh my word, that'll be emotional.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, this on screen, you can see Billy Musgrave is wheeling it, and you're also going to see, like, when he went through the double left after Cell Tower, him getting up out of the seat and, like, leaning to the outside, trying to get that inside tire. That's the one time you're going to see drivers the most active behind the wheel ever. Look, and he's shaking his head. He tried something through that corner, didn't quite work, trying to find what's going to be best. It was looking like a pretty good lap until he came out of Cell Tower and was actually spinning the tires. Now, this screen looks like it's a bit of a haze. I don't think there's any precipitation. I look outside the window, but it might just be the lens. If it stays this way, I'm starting to see a little bit of a lighter line where the tires are here on the straightaway already, Henry.
Yep. And of course, that's it. Warm-up is over. And we talked a little bit about how, you know, in the wet, in the rain, times are a little bit more spread out. Yeah, that works. 15 hundredths of a second separating the top six. Cameron Nelson on the last lap, the Welshman from Pontyclun going fastest. You can see the finishing order updating as more and more karts come across the line. Well, it's a British one too. Nelson and Oliver Hodgson, Brazil's Diego Ramos, third. Canada's Timothy Pinot, fourth. The leading American driver, of course, it's going to be Billy Musgrave. Antoine Lemieux, our pole sitter for the final. Paulie Massimino, seventh. And, hey, how about Holt's driver development? 9th and 10th. Eli Warren, Caleb Gaffara.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Massimino, I remember we were talking to him in the scale line there. He's like, hey, how do you feel about it if it goes away? He's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm great, sometimes I'm terrible. So,
yeah.
And that's going to be interesting to see how it goes. You talk about right here at the end, these times going faster. It's the opposite track. It's track evolution and it's drying.
Mm-hmm.
The later you go, the faster it's going to be, the better it's going to be, so on, so on, so on. We may end up getting some dry line. The question will be offline if you got to go make passes.
Oh, yes. I mean, now the races, the main events, they are much longer than the heat races yesterday. I haven't got the lap count in front of me. I believe it's something like 17 laps. I will try and get that checked. We should really have a timetable in front of us, but let's have a little look. Have I got something on my...
Well, and they'll probably make an adjustment too, right? Because it's not the standard going to be length, because we're doing 119s out here,
well,
and we're doing a little bit quicker than that in the dry, so they'll be making an adjustment for sure.
The published distances: 16 laps for juniors and seniors, 14 laps for mini. We're not doing time plus a lap, we're doing lap count.
Copy.
So 14 laps for the minis, 16 laps for the juniors and the seniors. We're going to take a commercial break. Then we'll be going over to Kart Chasers premium coverage, $9.99 a month. Please go to the Kart Chasers YouTube channel, sign up on your laptop or your iPad. If you go to the App Store, then or your home computer rather. If you go to the App Store, it's slightly more expensive, but we don't get that money. Apple takes it. So on your home computer or on your laptop, go and sign up to Kart Chasers premium live coverage. We'll be back after this next commercial break. Who's going to gamble on tyres? We'll find out very soon.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental cart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Florida kart racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLPC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today. Wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix! James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars.
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrakRacing.com.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to K100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico? Non-GMO? Gluten-free? Kosher? Magnesium? B12? B6?
Yeah, it's good.
B5? Biotin? And zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink, of Kart Chaser.
Kyle, what are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Look at this Kyle Cuthbertson. Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney. Turney in the